Hey everyone, so today I wanted to quickly talk about GameStop's stock price and how it started rallying again. So I just wanted to talk about number one, why this has happened and where this can potentially go. Can it perhaps do even more than it did before? Can it reach where it got before? Or is it going to absolutely plummet and fall on its back? So for those of you that don't know, last Wednesday GameStop's stock price went up about 100%. And when it went up, it had a halt. Now, a lot of people believe that this is all market manipulation, that it was halted, but this is just a very normal pause. This is simply just because of volatility. It's called a limit up, limit down pause, and this has absolutely nothing to do with market manipulation. This is actually something that happens, quite often. Like I said, this is completely just due to the large volatility, and it's normal, nothing to really worry about. But I know that none of you really care about that. We all care about how and why is it coming back up in general. And it's honestly come up quite a bit. Right now I think it's sitting at about 200% higher than it was last week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it has actually done that much growth. So now a lot of people believe that this is from the short squeeze, different hedge funds filling their short positions and buying in. But let me just explain why I don't really think that's why. So now there are a ton of hedge funds and different investors that are still holding shorting positions on GameStop. And this is because a lot of people believe that it still is going to come down eventually, like we've already seen it do, because at the end of the day, it's not really going to be a company that's going to be thriving, and a lot of it is simply just due to investors buying in, which is why we've seen the stock price absolutely just rocket. So why has it gone up this much other than the short squeeze, which is why a lot of people believe it could be instead a gamma squeeze. Let me quickly just explain what a gamma squeeze is. So now a call option is typically when you're trading with a market maker rather than another individual trader like you would do with stocks and different equities like that. So a market maker's job is simply just to sell options to those that want to buy and to buy options from those that want to sell, so they are quite literally making markets. Now when there's huge purchasings of options, market makers will need to sort of cover themselves from selling options without having it covered by a sustainable amount of shares or cash. So now to do this, to actually net that risk and reduce their risk completely, they themselves will too buy into the stock. And the thing is that once this keeps going and going, they keep buying, people keep buying call options, the market makers keep buying, and it will infinitely sort of cycle, not infinitely, but there will be a loop causing it to just go up, up, up. So now this is called a gamma rally, like I stated, and I have reason to believe that this is most likely why the first big rocket did mostly come, because obviously a lot of hedge funds still were holding on to their positions that were shorting. So I do think that a gamma squeeze is somewhat what occurred the first time as well as the short squeeze. However, this newborn run I think is mostly to do with a gamma squeeze, and maybe people hoping for a gamma squeeze too. So now along with all this, there has been more talk in the Wall Street Bets subreddit. So now on Wall Street Bets, they do throw in some of their own research and stuff along with everything. However, at the same time, a lot of history does just repeat itself. People keep doing the same sort of things to different companies, sometimes even going back to the same companies they've done it with before. So history does sort of repeat itself in a sense, and it keeps going on, which is another reason why I think the stock price has gone up, because it's just sort of become trendy again. Now, whether that's the reason why or not, it could simply just be because it's getting trendy again, and it's getting more talk once, all over again. But potentially if this was a gamma squeeze, or if we haven't exactly reached that yet, but we will reach a gamma squeeze, which is very likely, what is going to happen? So now a lot of people have predictions that the stock price is going to reach thousands and thousands. Sometimes people are even assuming it's going to reach even more. Now, do I think that's likely? No, not at all. But at the same time, with that being said, I didn't think it was going to reach the $300 or $400 that it reached in the first place. So, who knows, it really could reach anything. Now, a gamma squeeze, depending on how big it is, really can just loop for a long time, and it's not exactly crazy to say that it can reach hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for the share price. However, what could be stopping this? So now, one factor, which is more just a psychological factor, is that people are a bit more scared of risk this time. We've seen people be buying in at all-time highs and, losing absolutely thousands, if not more, because GameStop's price came back down. So there's no doubt about it, people are less, crazy, if not risky with their money because, we've seen that people lose a lot from GameStop. Along with this, people do have the assumption once something rallies, it's not going to rally again, which is absolutely not true, but it is just something that a lot of people think. Now, along with this, what I think is more likely, which would be a reason why maybe the stock price won't keep going in a loop, and this is more that there could be another sort of restriction on buying options from different brokerages like we saw with Robinhood. Now, this could or could not happen. I mean, a lot of buyers and traders have now gotten off Robinhood, so it might be okay, and there are always going to be a couple of brokerages that are allowing it, so worst comes to worst, it isn't going to completely destroy it. However, if one of the bigger brokerages like Webull or Robinhood were to put restrictions on buying options, it would certainly have a huge stunt in the growth, and it would just kind of stop it from occurring as well as it would be. If that makes sense. I know when I talk, the words just kind of come out, but yeah, I think and I hope you guys understand. So now there isn't a heap more to say, that's all I really had to cover, so thank you all so much for watching the video. I truly do appreciate it, and if you like this video, please I'd appreciate if you could hit the thumbs up button down below. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and if you'd like to see more videos just like this, feel free to subscribe and you can see whenever I post my new videos. My subscriber count has been growing rather significantly in my opinion, and I've been really over the moon. So thank you all so much, and I'd appreciate if you could go even further. I'm pretty hopeful, but thank you all so much for where it's gotten so far. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next video.